Hi, this is Pastor Greg, coming to you maybe not live, but alive. Alive with hope and anticipation of all the opportunities we have to be God's people in the world. Here we are finishing up the season of Lent, and we're thinking about Holy Week, which of course begins on Sunday, March 29th. Here at Peace Lutheran of Pigeon Falls, we have a combination service that day, Sunday the 29th, with Palm Sunday and the Sunday of the Passion. We do that because we, of course, want to remember Jesus' triumphant entry at the beginning of that week into Jerusalem with the blessing of the palms and all that kind of stuff. But then we remember what happened not too many days later. With our services, we want to make sure that everybody gets to hear the full Passion story. So we do include that on Palm Sunday, Sunday of the Passion. But just a little bit of information for you as we get into this week, this most holy of weeks in the church year. Holy Week is the 7-day period beginning on Palm Sunday and leading up to Resurrection Sunday, Easter Sunday. Holy Week is also called Passion Week. Passion comes from the Latin word meaning suffering. So Passion Week literally means Suffering Week. Each day of Holy Week helps us to remember the events that happened in Jerusalem leading up to Jesus' crucifixion, death, and resurrection, which is the most extraordinary thing to ever occur in human history. As we count the days toward each event, we hope, we mourn, and we rejoice, along with the followers of Jesus over 2,000 years ago. So Palm Sunday, March 29th, we remember Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem before the Passover celebration would take place. When he entered the city, crowds waved palm branches and welcomed him as the Messiah. Palm Sunday is a bittersweet day because while the Jewish people in Jerusalem recognized Jesus as the Savior prophesied to come, they misunderstood what he had actually come there to do. Before the week was over, the crowd that cheered him as king would cry out for his death. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of Holy Week, they come in between Palm Sunday and Maundy Thursday. They're the days that we can take to review the events that happened between Jesus' entry into Jerusalem and his arrest. During those days, Jesus taught every day. He drove the money changers and vendors out of the temple, and a woman anointed him with perfume at a home in Bethany. So Jesus was busy those days before Maundy Thursday. Thursday, Maundy Thursday, I believe that's April 2nd. We will worship here at 7 o'clock. But on that day, Jesus and the disciples celebrated Passover, and Jesus first instituted the Lord's Supper, which we continue now and will do so until his return. Maundy is a word derived from a Latin term meaning commandment. The term is used because in John 13, Jesus gives us a new commandment. He washed their feet that night, and he told them to love God, love others as they love themselves. And then Good Friday, April 3rd, we worship here at 1 o'clock, and we remember the trial, the crucifixion, and burial of Jesus. It may seem odd to call that day good, but in this case, good is used to mean holy. Although horrible, Jesus' death was necessary to restore humanity's relationship with God, and it's a somber day, so we realize how seriously God must take sin and how much God is willing to sacrifice for our sake. And Saturday, Holy Saturday, it's a day of watching and waiting. The Sabbath starts at sundown on that day that Jesus died, so they had to bury him that evening in a readily available tomb. Since work was prohibited on the Sabbath, they couldn't do anything more until it was over. That's why Jesus' followers returned to the tomb with spices for burial on Sunday. And then, of course, a hint of what's to come. We on this side of this true story know what's coming on Sunday, Easter Sunday. And we will worship here, rejoicing in that resurrection at 8:30 and 10 o'clock. And so each day of Holy Week allows Christians, all of us who follow Jesus, to peek into the heart of our Savior at intently close proximity. Jesus' love for his people is reflected in every significant step toward the cross, every breath up to his last, and to his resurrection. Join us for this important journey from Palm Sunday through Good Friday and ultimately to the resurrection.